Welcome back to my channel, guys. It's Kamau again, and I'm continuing our game, This or That. Now remember, this is where I run down a list of 12 pairs of words. I tell you which of the pair I prefer, and I'm encouraging you, begging you, pleading with you to join me in the game. Don't leave me hanging. I don't want to play the game by myself, right? So in the comments, I need you to tell me which you prefer. That's how the game works, okay? So we're starting with pair one. The first pair of words, dine in or take out. So I'm gonna go with take out. I don't mind dining in, but I'm more like, I prefer to order and take it home and have it in the comfort of my home. Yeah, so if it's a nice setting, lovely ambience, yes, I'll sit and dine, have a great conversation. But typically I would go for takeout. Take it home or take it to my comfy spot and eat at my own leisure. I don't like people hovering about me, waiting to close up, or I like to eat in peace. Okay, so number two, floor or carpet. Definitely floor. Whether it's wooden floor, which I absolutely love wooden floors, or tiled floor. If you know me, you know that I love tiles. I go crazy for tiles. I'll go to the tile store and sit there for hours, sit on the floor just looking at the tiles. I am a fanatic, absolute fanatic when it comes to tiles. So I'll tile each room a different tile just to have the variety of tiles to look at, right? And I love the finish. I love when you clean it and it just feels so nice under your feet. Same for the wooden floor. Now when I was growing up, we had red ochre, we call it oak, red oak, which we use on the floors to give them this beautiful red shine, and then we put the floor polish over that and use the coconut brush and give it that brisk shine, and then you polish it off with a piece of cloth. Now Caribbean people take great pride in their red floors. You might see some green or yellow, but mostly it's red oak and brilliant shine. We take pride in that. So that's how I grew up with those beautiful floors. Now I like tiles. Those are my favorite floor finishes, or wood. But carpet, I actually don't think carpet is healthy. Unless you're on the level of clean that an Adrian Monk does, where you're going to vacuum every day, or you don't have little rugrats, little children going about, or you don't have anybody up and down. If it's just you and you don't move up and down and you're meticulous, then the carpet. But other than that, it gathers dust, it gathers dust mites, it gathers all kind of things that you don't see. You think it's clean, however, it's not. I just don't like the idea of carpets. And when they can get that wet dog smell too, if you're not, as I say, if you're not meticulous. And depending on where you live and the moisture content in the air, the humidity, all of that taken into consideration. So for me, I'm a tropical girl. I go with my wooden floor, my tiles, or my red oak floors. But for those who can maintain their carpets, and you don't have any, because I have children in and out. I am up and down. I'm a busybody up and down. I walk barefooted in and out. Sometimes I forget my shoes. So I don't think the carpet would work for me. All right. So number 3, bunk bed, the top or bottom? Okay, so I would go with the bottom. Because as I said, I'm a busybody. I don't think I would be a nuisance to the person who is at the bottom if I'm at the top. Because I'm gonna be up and down the bed, going to write stuff, going to get stuff to eat. You know, when my children were smaller, we went through 3 bunk beds. Because I went through this bunk bed phase because I figured it's the most convenient, you know, having 4 small children in the house. And I went and I got this huge metal bunk bed. It was queen size on the bottom and a double bed at the top. Double? I think it was a double at the top. Or the regular bunk bed at the top. So, metal. And my children wrecked that within a very short time. A very short space of time. Like months, right? No, I didn't learn my lesson. So what I did was, when that was wrecked, I went and bought another one. Just like it, right? Because you know you have to experience, you don't learn. So, this was a metal bed, sturdy, you know. My son used to stay at the top and jump down to the bottom. He would do all kind of things. They would play. They would play with their dad on the bed and wreck the second bunk bed. And I remember the second one, I heard them in the room playing, you know, when the bed was on its last because it was shaking. And I remember I shouted out to them, don't wreck the bed, right? So they were in the room with their dad playing on the bed. And then I heard this sound, this collapse. And I said, okay, something happened in the room. I saw their dad walk out, very innocently just walk past like nothing, like he had no role to play in it. So he walked past me, and when I went into the room, you know, the bed was wrecked. And I went out and I bought another bunk bed, but this time a very sturdy wooden bed. And I was saying, there's no way they can wreck this one. It was firm, solid. Yeah, but they wrecked it as well. So I no longer have bunk beds. And everybody has their bed now. Alright, next question. So you're on the plane. Which seat do you prefer? The aisle seat or the window seat? I'm a window person. Whether I'm on a bus, plane, train, wherever. I like to sit at the window. I like to look through the window at the beautiful view. And also not too interested in the people, you know, in the other direction. So I'm going with the window. You know, whenever I'm on a plane and I'm always inspired when I'm looking through the window and I'm saying, my God, humans put this in the air. Isn't that amazing? Always when I'm on a plane and I'm looking and I'm probably seeing the wing of the plane, or just the fact that I'm above the weather, I'm above the clouds. And human beings like me were responsible for this. It always amazes me. It always inspires me. It always makes me feel like when I land, I'm going to go do something outstanding. Really and truly. You know, so we are awesome. We are awesome creatures. Let's just use our power for good, huh? Yeah, let's use our power for good. Next question. Tropical island. So you're on a tropical island. Are you a tourist or a native? You know I'm a native. I'm a native. I'm a tropical girl. Born and raised in Jamaica, in the Caribbean. Will never live outside of the tropics. I will visit other places. I'll spend weeks, months, I don't know, maybe year. I've never been outside of my country for more than a month. I've never been outside of Jamaica for more than a month, definitely. And even if I go elsewhere, I want to go as a native too. I want to blend in with the culture. I don't want to go and be stuck in a resort and on the fringe of the culture. I want to be immersed in it. So whether I'm home or elsewhere, I want to be a native. I want to get the real authentic experience of the place, right? I remember a friend of mine went to Hawaii, and everybody has this thing. I want to visit Hawaii at least once in my life. Hawaii or one of those Pacific islands, other Pacific islands. So she went to Hawaii and she came back, and I said, how was it? How was this famous island? And she said, well, when you were born on an island, Hawaii is just another island. And I totally dig that. I totally dig that, because I guess if I went to Hawaii or any tropical island, it would just feel like home. And I know it cannot be more beautiful than my island. Perhaps as beautiful, but never more beautiful. So I would appreciate it for that, but I guess I would not have this the way, like if you're coming from a mainland, if you've been landlocked all your life, you've never seen the ocean, you've never walked on sand, you've never seen the sun coming up over the horizon. I guess it would be awesome for you, but that is my life, that is my everyday, that is my birth and life and death. So yeah, I'm a native. An important thing is, as natives, we need to ensure that our governments protect our native lands and not reserve it just for the tourists because they're coming in with their dollars. We need to ensure that we have access to our native lands. We have access to the beaches, we have access to the mountains, the parks. That's very important, because in many cases, some of our native islanders cannot even afford to visit some of these places, and that is very sad indeed. So that's our duty as natives, to ensure that our governments look out for us in terms of that. Next question. Exam is coming up. Do you study in time, or do you cram at the last minute? Right now, I would study, over a period of time. When I was at school, I would cram. That was my thing. I would cram. And, often I would still pass. But I just found everything else to occupy my time. I was a bright student, right? I was a bright student, so I didn't bother myself much about regular studying. I just waited till like a day before, hours before, and then you would see me cramming. But now I have better ethics. I have better study ethics. Being a teacher and trying to live by example, what I encourage my students to do. For now, my approach is different, but as a student myself, back then, that's exactly what I did. I crammed, and I waited for the last minute, the day of the test, the night of the test. Yeah, so I have to go with cram. Or should I just cram back then, study now? Put it that way. Okay. Next question. Smoking or non-smoking? Absolutely non-smoking. I've never smoked in my life, and I don't ever plan to smoke in my life. Uh, when we were little, would watch usually the old men, but some younger guys too, hardly women. Um, so I would watch them smoking, or they would send us off to the shop to buy cigarettes, even though they weren't supposed to. But yeah, so send us to get cigarettes, and we'd watch them smoking, and it would seem like it's cool. And then you'd look in the magazines, and you see these pictures of the cowboys smoking, or the slim ones for the women, and it would look so cool, and you would think, well, if you are hip, if you are rich, if you are in a certain class, then you would want to smoke. But luckily that did not appeal to me. And so that's for cigarette. As opposed to the ganja, that too, never smoked marijuana in my life. I prefer to blend the fresh leaves. No, that's different. Or the seed, the oil from the seed, that's different. But I am opposed to anything smoked. Any smoke going into my lungs, I'm opposed to that. A relative of mine, he was a heavy smoker, and he had a friend who was a doctor. And you know how he stopped smoking? When his doctor died of lung cancer. And we went to visit him in the hospital, and he saw the condition, he saw the situation of how his doc had become. That's when my relative finally decided to quit smoking, and he just went cold turkey, quit. The closest I ever came to smoking, other than when we were children, we'd get tobacco leaves, the leaves from, I think it was the chocho tree or something. It looked like tobacco leaves, and we'd roll that up and pretend, as children. Other than that, though, the closest I came to smoking was, I remember a friend of mine, Paul Kelly, unfortunately died a couple years ago, but a very close friend of mine. I remember going to Sunsplash, the first time I ever went to Sunsplash too, with him, and he was there, and other friends of his smoking marijuana. And he said, "You wanna try? You wanna see what it's like?" And I took I think one puff, and it was just so repulsive. I was coughing. It was so repulsive. I said, "Never again." Never again. So, absolutely against smoking. And I really can't see the obsession that people have with smoking marijuana. Honestly, cannot see it. I will blend the ganja, the leaves, to make green juice, definitely. And I will take the oil, definitely. Next question. Your ID, is it real or is it fake? I've never had a fake ID. When I was younger, if I needed to get into a club or a party, I'd probably have needed an ID, because I did not look my age. I just always looked like a baby. But luckily I never went to those places, never had the need to go into those places. So yeah, my ID is real. I mean, I have IDs that have expired that I need to renew, but they're totally legit. I'm a legit person, see? I'm a law-abiding citizen. I don't break the law. I don't break the law of the land. I break some other laws, however. Next question. So you're traveling, is it first class or economy? I would go with economy. Although there are certain airlines I'd really love to experience the first class on. Qatar Airways and Emirates and Fly Dubai. I've seen some little video clips of what their first class is like, and I would absolutely love to experience it. But generally speaking, I don't see what's the big deal about first class. I mean, I'm on a plane for a couple of hours. I don't know. I just want a seat near the window, really. Give me a good seat near the window. I don't need extra room for my legs. I just need a seat to get from point A to point B. That's all I need. But those airlines that I named up top there, yeah, I'd love to experience their first class. If it's even once, um, definitely. Other than that, I don't need the champagne, I don't need the extra space, I don't need the perks. I just need to get to where I'm going. Next question, lefty or righty? I'm a righty. When I was little, I used to try writing with my left hand to see if I could do the ambidextrous thing. It was so uncomfortable, just couldn't keep it up. I'm a righty, definitely, absolutely righty. Next question, which seat do you have in class? So I'm guessing it's when I was a student. As a teacher now, my seat is at the top of the class, front of the class. When I was a student, I tried to sit at the front. I love to be right at the front to catch every word that the teacher is saying. I don't want to miss a thing. That's me. I love the front. Last question. Your seat in the cafeteria. Are you sitting with the nerds or with the popular guys? I'm sitting with the nerds because I'm a nerd. Right? Yeah, I'm a nerd. And I mean, to me, the popular guys usually, I find them boring. I find them pretentious. I find them empty-headed, to be honest with you, generally speaking. So I wouldn't want to sit with them anyway. The nerds are they have more depth, you know. Deeper conversations, more genuine folks. So I'm sitting with the nerds. Tell me where you're sitting. Let me run through the list. So it's dine or take out, floor or carpet, bunk bed, top or bottom, plain seat, aisle or window, tropical island, are you a tourist or a native, exam coming up, study or cram, smoking or non-smoking, is your ID real or fake, first class or economy, lefty or righty, front or back seat in the class, nerds or popular guys in the cafeteria. Tell me, please, what your options are in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like, share, and click the bell. And look out for part 8. And I'll see you